Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. Not only for you guys, for the man himself as well. I have come to Birmingham because the action is we're going to trip to Birmingham and welcome Boreada to the World Cup coverage. First of all, very England weather. 5 minutes it was raining.
Both of us got stuck at the New Street station, either side of the New Street station,
Exactly.
and it was pouring. It was pouring. I mean, literally got drenched. And then we said, okay, let's give it 5 minutes and look at this now.
Yeah.
In fact, this
We
rain
are feeling
jacket
hot.
seems
Yeah.
hot. Yeah, this rain jacket seems hot, but very England. Action will shift here. The team should come in tomorrow.
Yes.
Team should come in tomorrow. I've been here for the last couple of days. Trisha came into Birmingham yesterday. Both of us have been in the country. I've been here for a month. She's been here for the last 3 weeks. So we've been checking the build-up. Behind us is Victoria Square, a place we all both know very, very well. Birmingham, quite a lot of branding. If you
Yeah.
land, around New Street, unlike Glasgow, where I was a couple of days back to do the recce, there was hardly any Commonwealth Games branding, except in the train station where there was a big Longines countdown clock. Otherwise, there was nothing really in Glasgow. But this time round in England, it has been very strong. It has been very, very good as far as branding is concerned. I like the Waterloo plan that Jai and people did. In fact, getting the captains
Yes.
on Waterloo Bridge, it was a great idea, great photo op. But you've
And
been
getting in a
covering,
number of influencers as well.
this has become the trend now.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think they do contribute much
Yeah.
because frankly they don't really get into the game. I've got no problems with influencers per se if they actually get into the game, but if they do it superficially, then it will not help.
Yeah.
Eventually it will be like that boom. For a while it will come and go. People who are serious followers of the game will stay on. You've been covering the Indian team for the last 3 weeks. What is it looking like today? The warm-up game didn't happen. Is India ready?
The warm-up game actually the it was interrupted with the rain. Now it finished, and I was there watching. England was 140 in 144 in 18 overs. I just checked. They finished at 171, and Renuka was given the 20th over. Why was Renuka given the 20th over? She has never bowled death overs. Anyway, honestly, T20 format is not our format. So ODI World Cup was very different. But I do think that the side is still not ready, in the sense the best playing 11 is not ready. And that is pretty difficult when it comes to a World Cup. Because if you look at, in the conclave, if you remember, I had asked Mitali, what is that one thing that India should look at during the World Cup? And she has said, unlike the ODI World Cup, I think in T20I World Cup, we should have a fixed 11. And Boryada, from what I saw, the batting positions are not fixed yet. The playing 11 is not fixed yet. There is also that doubt, should you play an extra spinning all rounder, or should you stick with Arundhati? So these questions had to be answered before. Having said that, do you think, now that you have heard this, do you think the fact that our first two games are Pakistan and Netherlands gives us extra?
That was actually my question for you. That India gets 2 games to get into the World Cup because 14th and 17th,
Yeah.
Pakistan versus India, at least, in fact, both. By the way, interestingly, the apartment that I'm staying in, Salman Aga is staying in the next one. So we are in the same building. Each time I take my daughter out, he takes his daughter out. And by the way, there has been no handshake here.
Thank God.
But we have greeted each other.
Yeah.
We have greeted each other. That's what
As
dignified
it
people
should
do.
be. Yeah.
He recognized me and he said, "आपने बहुत सवाल पूछा है." I said,
काम
वो
है, सवाल
काम है.
पूछना है.
So he's with family, he's holidaying here. But coming to Pakistan versus India, the women's game, I don't think even after improving quite a bit, the Fatima Sana led side can
Yeah.
challenge India. They're still quite a bit far. So I think Amol and Harman and team will still get 2 games. We'll
Correct.
get Birmingham, we'll get Leeds to get it right. But come Manchester, you don't have a chance to make a mistake because if you see the way Australia played that warm-up,
They were absolutely
they were
clinical.
clinical. They were clinical. And my point is, if somehow you lose to South Africa in Manchester, then it becomes a do or die in London.
Yeah.
And that Lord's game on the 28th could become a kind of a knockout game. So you don't want to lose that Manchester match. So Manchester leg
And you have lost to that team 4-1.
for one, just in South Africa when they were not playing their full side.
Yes.
So that's something. And again,
And there was no Shabnam Ismail.
that South Africa game could be the real key game comes, India or India's fortunes in this World Cup, because Manchester, two, three things there. If you, by the way, I was in Manchester last week.
Yeah.
I was in Manchester last week. The
How
weather
is
is
the
going to be
condition?
very fickle. The prediction for mid-June is going to be relatively cool. There will be a bit of rain. Last week there was plenty of rain in Manchester. In fact, the day the Great Manchester Run was happening, which was just, I was in Clayton Hotel in the city center. There was about 30,000 people, but it was raining all morning. So that's my question. That given the conditions, by the way, Sunday here in Birmingham is expected to be relatively good. Weather prediction is good from Saturday onwards. So I don't see a problem with the game. But what is your take? Given the weather, temperatures will be around 18, 19, and 11. So cool. Calcutta winter.
Yeah.
Right? Calcutta winter. So given that kind of conditions, there has been rain in Edgbaston. It rained a little bit yesterday. The day I came in on the 8th, it was cold. It's still cold. Warming expected over the next couple of days is what local weather bureau says. What should be the combination?
I think also having seen भेजा ছিল বলে
Oh, acha.
Yeah.
If somebody takes it, we'll catch.
Yeah. As I said, I think for me, seeing the wickets over the last 3-4 games, I think they've slowed down. It's not the usual England wicket, which is fast-paced, ball coming onto the bat, and that is where I feel, and especially because India does have a death over bowling issue. That is where I feel Renuka will become Sri Lanka, not Renuka. Sri Lanka will become an extremely important bowler. You have to play Sri Lanka. If you play Sri Lanka, you have to give up on one of the pacers. So 2 pacers and 3 spinners with Deepti, Charni, and Sri Lanka. Also, Deepti's form is a concern with the ball.
That was my question. That even in the last World Cup, player of the tournament, she did wonderfully with the ball. Sadly, in the last couple of months, at least
Yes.
from April onwards, we haven't seen her come to the party. But come the big tournament, big players step up. So if also, I mean, the batting, you've got good starts.
Yes.
But towards the end, you've not seen that acceleration. Even in the last
But
game,
who will accelerate?
that's the point. Because are you concerned with Richard's form?
Yeah, absolutely, I am, and that's why I feel today's match is the game where you should send Richa in at 3 or 4, at least in the 12th over, and tell her that you don't have to hit from the first ball. Spend some time in the middle, because you have enough. It does not matter even if you lose to England today. So honestly, it should not matter. It's a warm-up game, and anyway, warm-up game is about giving game time. So give Richa that time, give her that space to express herself, but take a little time in the beginning. Slower pitches have always been a concern. Even in the last T20 World Cup, Boryada, Snehashish and Bharat were there in Dubai. Slow wickets, Richa could not make an impact. Here, I had thought, in fact, Snehashish and I have said this on record, that Richa in England will be a different kind of a beast. But the the pitch has been very, very surprising. I have barely seen England pitches holding up so much. I do feel that it has got a lot to do with the kind of bowling that England has. England doesn't have a brilliant batting lineup at all, but they have a brilliant bowling lineup, which is more towards spin. So they have quality spin bowlers in Lindsay Smith, Sophie Eccleston, Charlie Dean, who all 3 of them are in that top 10 ICC T20I rankings. And I feel that that is the pitch every team will get, not a batting pitch which we usually see in World Cup.
It's an interesting point that Trisha is making. The interesting point that Trisha is making, because clearly, and they've done it very subtly.
Yeah.
In the build-up, they've had some games against India, but look at the places where India is playing: Birmingham, Leeds, Manchester, then London. So if you see the kind of build-up for this tournament for India. Now, if you were Amol Mazumdar, you don't have a finisher except Richa Ghosh. So you have to persist with Richa Ghosh. She's your number 1 wicket keeper also.
Yeah.
What do you do? Because you started well. Even in the first 10, the last match also India was 100, and then you finish off with a 170. So in the last 10 overs, you're scoring 70.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the last match against England in that ODI series, we saw 180 got chased down in 16 and a half overs.
In the
17
T20I
in the T20I
Yeah, yeah.
series. So
180 will be chased down.
180 will be chased down. Alice Capsey and Heather Knight made a mockery of that chase.
Yeah.
So if you were Amol Mazumdar, what do you do in the next 7 days? I know you've done a fiery speech in that last World Cup,
Yes.
but speeches don't really help after a point. You've got to have, you know, what is the strategy there? What can India do? What is, do you reckon, people like Jemima should take more responsibility? Do you expect more from the Yasika Bhatia has played some good knocks in the last couple of weeks? How do you see India masking their deficiencies?
I think one of the biggest deficiencies, which is now on your face, because this is in England. England grounds are bigger, Boryada. So the biggest problem that's happening is in the middle overs running between the wickets. If you look at the chase that Ellis Capsey and Heather Knight also, they did that 180 runs chase successfully. Look at the number of twos they have run, and look at the number of twos that in the entire series India has run. And it is not even about running between the wicket. I have seen a lot about their fitness. One of the biggest points which people miss about running between the wicket is knowing where there is two and not knowing. Like for example, yeah, if you see any other teams, they will never take a two when it's Chemi. They will always take a two when it's Smith. They will always take a two when it's Deepti. Even if they straight away hit to someone like a Shafali, they try and take that run single. Even when these players are inside the 25-yard circle, I think that is one area because batters are getting stuck. Now we are playing that same game that we have been playing from the beginning of T20Is, either boundary or dot. There is no other way around, and that is giving you 20 runs short. For example, Bharti Fulmali the other day scored a 50, but if you look at her score, she scored about 35 of those before the last 5 overs. In the last 5 overs, she got only 20 of those. So in the last 5 overs, if your set batter gets 20 and just two boundaries, that is not going to help you. That is where I think Richa becomes extremely significant, but then the pressure on Richa. And I think, yes, someone like Jemmy, someone like Harman, they have to play a longish innings where Richa knows, let me go all out. It does not matter because there's a set batter at the other end. There are times when India is going through batting collapse. So at both the ends, it's the newcomers. And in the kind of wicket that we are getting here, two newcomers are never going to get you runs quickly.
It's clearly, let's be very candid here. India doesn't go into this competition as one of the
favorites,
favorites. They are not. I mean, the 50 over World Cup is a different story. We come in with that title under our belt that has given a lot of positive traction to the women's game back home, and that's always welcome. Having said that, Trisha was the only journalist covering from on ground the last series. You bet when Vaibhav Suryavanshi and team land in the UK and in Ireland, you will see several more Indian journalists. I bet that we will perhaps be the only platform with multiple people here for the World Cup. We stick to our promise. If you do men with X number of people, you do women with the same number of people. So all this traction that we talk about is also at one level superficial.
It's just
How
Twitter
much are you back?
based. Everybody is sitting in Twitter and commenting, that you guys are criticizing, you guys are not criticizing. There are two different armies who are busy criticizing us, basically.
It doesn't matter. I mean, whether you criticize us or doesn't, it doesn't matter to us. We will try and back the team to the maximum. That's why we are here. To spend top dollar and come to this country with 130 rupees to a pound makes a big dent into your pocket. So we know what we are doing. We'll back the team to the fullest, but at the same time, we will constructively, critically analyze where India needs to get better. Renuka.
Boryada, before you go, let me tell you something. You said there was one Indian journalist in the practice, during that practice in Cardiff. They were shocked that there is media. They're like, you are from media. What have you come to do here? I'm like, because my team is practicing. And Jigar is like, yeah. Jigar has been very helpful throughout the tour. But everyone in ICC also was shocked that media actually covered that practice before the World Cup started.
No, see, if you cover the men, you have to cover the women. I mean, it is not about if the team loses. So what? Will that mean that we will cover less? No. We will continue to cover men's and women's cricket with equal aplomb. If India loses, sad. Yes, we will all be disappointed. We want our team to win, like many others. By the way, it's starting to drizzle again.
Yeah.
This is typical Birmingham weather. There's a bit of a cloud behind us. Edgbaston, by the way, we are in Victoria Square. So Victoria Square is on our right, the Hyatt Hotel, where the team will be hopefully staying. Is just about
That's where you guys were staying during
last time.
Games?
No. The Commonwealth Games we were staying. Yes. Commonwealth Games we were staying there.
Yeah.
So it was just and then you were
In Burlington.
yeah. So it's Burlington here. So yeah, Commonwealth Games we were at a Hyatt. Now we are staying just up there towards Mailbox in an apartment. But coming back. I mean, there is so much fanfare. You would want people to come to this country and watch the women's game. I wrote about it the other day that Vaibhav Suryavanshi. There's so much talk. Why is there not so much talk about the women? They're coming in as defending champions.
Yeah.
So what? How many Indian men's teams have won World Cups back to back, except this last T20 team under Rohit and now Surya? But that's it. You've not won a 50 overs, which this team has won. So come and support your team, which is what we will do. So criticizing us for making constructively critical comments will not help. At least we've taken the trouble to come here, spend our money. Nobody gives us money. So to come here and back the team to the fullest. First match, Pakistan. Let's try and set it up. Any concern you reckon for that game? No.
Yes, I do. I do reckon, because see, Pakistan again is the Pakistan and West Indies are very similar that way. One day they will get up and perform superbly, and the other day they will get up and 90 all out. But in the last 5 games that Pakistan has played, they have crossed 165 mark thrice, and it was Fatima Sana, Muniba Ali, Alia Zafar. So the names that we already know were the ones who scored. But the point is, Boryada, bad bowling, they're going to put away bad bowling. They have that armory. Before you could confidently say that, you bowl badly against Pakistan, even then you're definitely going to restrict them under 100. But that's not going to happen right now. And that is where I am a little worried that when India does, if Pakistan bats first, it becomes a very, very different kind of approach that India should have. And it has started raining.
It has started raining, so we will try and close the show in the next 3-4 minutes. Also, because Snehashish is just about to land in the UK.
Finally.
It's his first trip. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a journey. I mean, his flight got cancelled in Dubai. He got rebooked onto another flight the following morning, and finally this is his first tour and a World Cup in the United Kingdom. He's excited, so Trisha needs to just go and ensure that it's all good with Snehashish. But we will be back at the end of the practice game around 9:30 p.m. India time. Both of us will be back. Let's say what, 9:30? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock India time is when we will be back. 4:30 here. Same place. We will be back then. But critical comments, closing comments. What's going on now? Are you watching anything in particular in this batting effort from India?
Yes, as I said, I would like to see 2 things. I think I've said this in the preview as well, that I would want one of Smriti Mandhana and Shafali Verma to go ahead and get that 60, 65. Because enough of the 20s and 30s. And you know what, Boryada, if your openers get 20s and 30s continuously, as you said, it's all okay. We have already lost a wicket. So Smriti is gone to a left arm spinner yet again. Oh my. Okay, Shafali is batting on 5 of 13. I would like Shafali to continue this and make a 60, because see, this is the problem. Till they are there, it's fantastic that they're scoring at such a good rate. But that needs to be a bigger contribution. Otherwise, then the middle order has to again rebuild and start the scoring.
And what I've also seen in the last few games is they're losing wickets in a cluster.
Exactly.
It's a great start, 70 for 1, 7 overs, 85 for 4. And that's where you kind of lose track, because you're then closing out with 160, 170. And other teams will overhaul that 170, 160 target, because, even for the women's game, I think par will become about 190.
Yeah.
Not 160 anymore. Teams are pretty confident. The way England chased down 180, it was evident.
Yeah.
In fact, the power play went India's way. Despite
Absolutely. They were 35 for 3. and it was all but over. And by the way, let me tell you, everyone in that press box was, of course, from the English media, and they were not sparing Charlotte Edwards. They were like, "What are you doing? What kind of experimentation?" But look at the way Alice Capsey, and in fact, Charlotte Edwards came and told them, "You know, you
Shafali
guys."
out. Somebody's just commented
Oh
Shafali
my
out.
God.
Yeah,
This is the
this is the problem. This is what we want seeing addressed. That your openers need to take responsibility. And because that's where your firepower is.
Yeah.
Your firepower is at the top. Your batting
Bold.
has to step up. Your batting has to make amends for maybe a little bit of a weak link with your bowling. Fielding has been a concern for India. You know what, Trisha, my problem with this is, if somehow you don't make the semi-finals, God willing that shouldn't happen. If you don't make the semi-finals,
I know.
this entire momentum that we are talking about as far as the sport is concerned gets lost. Because then people will say, "Arey, that was a fluke.
Yeah.
Arey, wo to jeet gaya to kya hua? Ye dekho haar gaya." People will not understand that is a different format.
Yeah.
India does much better in that 50-over
ODI
format.
is our format. Yeah.
Unlike the men's team.
Yeah.
The men's team
Correct.
is not adept with the 50 or red ball.
Red ball.
We are not the best team in the world in WTC, but we are the number 1, 2, 3, 4 team in T20.
Yeah.
Everybody is the best. I mean, you have 3 teams which can beat anyone.
Yeah.
But in 50 overs, I have a problem so far. Gautam Gambhir has not proven his pedigree in
Correct.
50 overs. Shubman Gill has not proven his pedigree in 50 overs. Last year in red ball, he was good
He
here.
was good here.
But in that home series, he didn't play against South Africa. He got injured, that neck issue at the Eden Gardens. But the truth is, unlike the men's team, which is very good in 50 over in T20 cricket, this women's side is not good in T20 cricket. And that's something that kind of bothers me.
But I think give WPL 5 more years, and we'll also
Maybe.
have because think of it today. Yes, we are saying that India has 3 teams, but IPL is also into
20 years.
20th year. Give WPL, and WPL has given you superb bowling arsenal, at least with Charni, with Nandini Sharma. I think she is doing exceedingly well, and will be. In fact, I am told from sources that Nandini is not playing the warm-ups because India does not want to expose her too much. In front of the
That was another question that I had for you. That, do you reckon India has not opened up every card? Is it that Amol and Harman are holding something back?
I think every player has played. So, and in the T20 team, other than Nandini Sharma, nobody is new at all. So you kind of know who has what to offer, which is where I think, Burya, the biggest problem is Amanjot Kaur's injury, and immediately when Kashvi Gautam started peaking, she got injured. My problem is,
I don't think India has a replacement for Amanjot, much like Hardik Pandya.
Absolutely. So first, think of this: how many pace bowling all-rounders we have lost? Pooja Vastrakar, God knows where is she.
Yeah, I've asked you this question because you follow the game every day. That what happened to Pooja Vastrakar? Because Pooja Vastrakar was a genuine all-round option.
Absolutely.
And a tremendous fielder. Tremendous fielder.
Yeah.
But I keep hearing she's gotten injured again. She got injured again. I mean, come on, Pooja Vastrakar.
Weirdly enough, she's coming out of injury, hasn't played a single match, back injured. It's a very difficult thing to understand.
What's the question from this guy? I'll take it here. 1 second. Okay, let's take the question. Okay, so Jemima was not there. Smriti is out. Spinners easily getting her out in power play. Priyanshu. Shafali out. Freaking awesome. Australia, England, New Zealand have a better record than India and England. South Africa don't have a good record. What India should do, beat these 3 teams. You can take that.
Achha. I think first India have to
beat South Africa.
Yeah.
If you beat South Africa, then you at least get to the semi-finals. Then you can think it's a 2-game tournament.
Because honestly, if you ask me, Boryada, right now the South Africa side is such. I feel defeating Australia is easier than defeating South Africa, and South Africa is that good. Also, can I spill a little bit of beans?
Of course.
Sources say, and this is Nihashish's sources, so you will know that very close to South Africa, right? That they have kept a board sort of, or a written sort of in their WhatsApp group. They will say, when they came to England with practice games and all, they had 12 matches till the final gets over. So they have named it 12 matches to glory.
Oh, nice. So clearly, South Africa. I mean, they lost to India in that 50-over final, but they are here
and they
for
lost
business.
2024 World Cup final as well in Dubai.
Yeah,
to New Zealand.
Yeah,
This time
correct.
around, they're coming to win the World Cup, and that's why Shabnam Ismail, if you see in all her interviews, she's like, the T20 World Cup gets over, I get the cup, the team gets the cup, we retire. Same goes for Marizanne Cap. The kind of hunger that these guys are showing is scary. It's scary.
Sarvesh, why would you clash with the FIFA World Cup? These are two different sports, my friend. What do you mean? I mean, you mean to say the ICC has to schedule the Women's World Cup in tandem with when FIFA schedules the World Cup in the United States? Then nothing will happen. That no buzz. What do you mean no buzz? The ICC did its best in London.
Yeah.
By the way, let me also tell you, of course, and let me also tell you, the FIFA World Cup, so far there have been way too many controversies in the United States. We know what's going on with Iran. The rain is getting heavier. You need to close the show.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back 9 p.m. India time to talk about the warm-up and where this goes. We'll take more comment then because it has started to rain heavily. I'll go and receive Snehashish. Thank you, Boryada. We'll
catch up,
again.
Yeah,
Yes.
and plenty of coverage, folks, coming your way. So keep asking. We've just started today. There'll be about 8-10 shows every day.
Exactly. So just like, share, and subscribe, and be back at 9 p.m. Bye-bye.
Done.